We lost in 7. And there's that lovely road, well look at that, spoked wheels, and a lovely comfortable car. And you can say just the same for the 3 litre that are going past in there. And there's the Jeep. Forest, Woolsey Hall. And the 4x4 forward. With the reputation those sides, they're always rated. Water. What travel beach travel? Isn't it just? Does everything it says on the tin? I wanted to catch this one. It's nice to see the flying eagle there over the red triangle. Now, what is this? PO14. Now, what does that really mean? Did it have a, because that was just a mark number, didn't have a name. Right? And what year? 1948, once again. Well, you know, 1948, it was that sort of period. It wasn't on its own inside, because trying to do it to put the changes and around that time. Because this is still in the traditional motoring style for the UK. Publishers, as I've mentioned before, weren't just responsible for beautiful cars like this. They also made very heavy commercial and military vehicles. And I've got a funny feeling they were tied up with English standards at one time, during the 1950s. But just look at that, there's nothing of that type of manufacturing here with this car. And how long you had it? 2.5 years? What state was it in? So you were lucky, you got it just like this. And it gives you pleasure. And they're not uneconomic to what you've got, are they? They're not, no. You know, it depends what you call it. It's the pleasure that's doing the thing. Really feel good. So you when you see the leave it up to the government and tell you what you're doing with you. There goes the mini moat. We picked up our plant for here on the first day of the show. Actually, they're an investment vehicle, those moats, these days. It will boost you up to buy them. They're not very long shoes. There are the people who want moats. They're really, they are connected. And we know we got to work with the beach club these days. But they're interesting to look at all on their own. We're actually working on a very tight time scale today, which is why our parades are a bit shorter. Our enthusiasts are doing very well, that's for sure. motorcycles will be following us into the arena. And that will be a bit of a fly past for the motorbikes today. We know that that's called just coming up to the exit gate now is the big releaser, BMC of the period. This was a quality car inside. And it's, of course, it's got the Austin brand on there because Austin's made quality cars. Designed for Greenville, the view of Greenville.
John at work.
who's the steers person. And the person who's steering has got just as much to do as the driver has at the controls. The steam wagon, like the Foden steam wagon tanker that you see just going past, those are tremendously, it's the missing link between the lorries of today and the steam engines of yesterday. You're collecting a bit of kindling wood there, Danny, are you? Well, don't waste a good bit of firewood. Bringing the Foden steamers into the arena to build a Foden steam line for you. Entering the arena now, we have the engine forming up for our steam parade, line-up and drive-through here today. There's always something special about an event like this at Netley Marsh. Today there's absolutely no exception to that rule. We like it to be part of the show, and also an opportunity for exhibitors to, we're just waiting to see how it works out. The major focus though was actually got a nice folding line in the front of the arena. And Trojans themselves stayed with steam for many years. In the end, it meant the family split. When diesel was a thing in the future, Edward Foden, both member of the family, on the board, he decided that Foden should be actually building diesel vehicles. While the board of Foden said, no, this is got to stay with steam. So Edward Foden went away and he went up the road and he opened his own business. ERF, walked up the road to Foden. And that was how that particular lorry got started. Foden's carried on with steam very, very successfully for a long period of time. with this frozen in the centre. You call it a tanker? Well, yes, it's got a tanker body on there, but really this is somewhere between a frozen steam tractor and a frozen steam wagon. Depending on the stuff, we have like the fastest steamers on the road in this country. More than likely, if you're just judging it by speed, which isn't the correct way to do it when you're talking about good movement, but if you are judging it by speed, then Sentinel will be the builders of the fastest steam wagon. We carried on building steam even after Foden said stop. Sentinel was building steam right into the 1950s. And Sentinel were actually manufacturers based in Shrewsbury. And this is an example of a Sentinel now in the livery of steam, making its way towards the Championship arena. And you'll notice that's a six-wheeler. This is the Foden steam, the Sentinel Green 6. And if you look at it, you'll see it's on solid tyres. Solid tyres, well of course it is. Now, it's supposed to be on solid tyres. That meant it was restricted to 12 miles an hour. Well, as things got moved on in the transport world, 12 miles an hour was too slow. So the law was changed that if you had pneumatic tyres, you could do 20 miles an hour. And Foden, and here's another little example of miniature steam wagon look. Foden's actually used to bring back, say, one engine up, only the opportunity of bringing their engines back to the workshop at Foden's factory and having them converted to pneumatic tyres. Now this is a 1929 Foden, the tanker that we're looking at, the green one, and yet it's on pneumatics. Pneumatics weren't actually fitted by Foden until 1930 when the law changed. So this one rapidly went back to the factory so that it could be faster, go faster Foden. So from 12 miles an hour, steam wagons could now do 20 miles an hour on the road legally. And the policeman hiding behind the Hercules stopwatch was a little bit outclassed. Wallace and Stevens, they're a Hampshire engine builder up there at Basingstoke. The particular engine which has just gone past the commentary point now, that big green one, that's an agricultural engine. Wallace and Stevens build up there at Basingstoke. Ordered from new to go to the Isle of Wight. It's got an Isle of Wight registration on there. Worked all his life on the Isle of Wight, and it was finally left abandoned on the quarry line to go over and done with. It's been completely restored and rebuilt. People said it could never be done. There was hardly enough of that engine left. Hence its name, Texas, in the Isle of Wight.
The old Roman nuns for the island.
Some idea of the age of this engine has just gone past now. The steamroller. Well, that is the name of the steamroller is Lord Kitchener. So that is back to somewhere around the period of the First World War. Engines in this lineup have been around for over 100 years, probably. We were talking about the 1920s, 1930s, with the Fodens here, but the Fodens as well as six-wheelers, Sentinel also built the odd eight-wheeler, with the DG8. And if you look at the easy bit to see, vertical boiler. So we're just moving it now to line up. This is being done with a spirit level on the state. Just need to be able to take a bit of 20 off the solid bar so we can drop the beginning of the 19th century to 125 different firms building road-going steam vehicles here in the UK. We're bringing a little selection of vehicles for you to see here today. With a pole trailer on there, well it's not actually a precision extending pole trailer to its wheels. What actually happens here is that the bed slides backwards and forwards, the bearers of the bed, to make up the longer, the carriage is longer, Now for the Garrett Showman's locomotive. This one's got a history of being a Showman locomotive. Operated by the Harris family down in Ashington, Suffolk. An ongoing family concern and program coverage, and they're still in the business today. They still own the family set of gallopers, the roundabout, galloping horses. There's the engine at the top.
Loaded up again now, I still want to go round.
And now our second McLaren to reach the top end of the arena. There's a handful of demonstrations. We've worked down here on the agricultural construction business from the time in which it was delivered right up until the time that they had to replace it with a diesel tractor. Eventually the diesel tractor wore out, and they were able to relocate where that steam engine was gone, and the family bought it back. And the fact where it's working now, still in 15 miles in this right field. Burrell was an engine that was really light in the perspective, where they were getting into steam, some of them. Look at the chimney tops. Well, that's the exhaust pipe. You can see the ones that are making less impact are the ones that have been going longer. They've warmed up, their engines are on maximum efficiency, and it's just a steam vapour which is coming out. These engines are designed. Some of them, the early single-cylinder engines, only used the steam once. But with two or more cylinders on the steam engines that came along later, they were able to reuse that same steam. And that was working to metal, but because we had iron ore available in this country, and we had good coal that would actually burn efficiently, make iron manageable and workable, also to provide powerful way of creating heat electricity. This is why we have some successful steam engines on the railways and on the roads. Once an engine's running at maximum efficiency, you won't see the smoke. When you're warming up, there'll be a little smoke. And there's a difference between smoke and steam. It goes from smoke to steam, and then the steam Well, right up until the very last set of figures was calculated, where steam coal was sold was noted. And steam coal and steam pollution was when put down to 5% of the total pollution was actually born from this section. Hardly anything at all when you think of the figures that they were talking about for overall pollution. So let's look at this sort of problem objectively. And with the closure of the best steam coal pit, a lot of the coal that we're having to burn today is actually imported coal, because we've got no coal mining left in this country which is suitable to drive a steam engine. And the imported coal does not burn as efficiently as the steams that we have still hidden away in Wales. But it's too late to open those pits again now. It's not like a shop with a door on it. Opening the working mine is far too expensive once it's been closed. There goes the little roadie. These are a certain weight, and you could actually have an engine that could be sold for one person legally. And then that was made possible and legal. Wallace and Stevens did that with a very successful little engine, and indeed with most of the engine manufacturers in the civil business at that time. Now here's another Aidling, an agricultural or general purpose engine which is doing the haulage or all agricultural work here now. You see the spoke flywheel that's going through the driver visibility through the flywheel, because you can look through that flywheel and make sure it's not a blind spot for the driver. For the big heavy haulage engines, like the Aidling that's just reversing now into position, you'll see he's got a solid flywheel. Those flywheels are needed to make the most use of the momentum of the steam engine and to actually, to a degree, preserve and store the power that's being produced by the steamer. But the agricultural engine only needed to tick over for most of its life because it was driving another piece of machinery on a farm. Once it had hauled the machinery to its place of employment on the farm, it could then be used quite safely because the driver could see through that flywheel. And if you look at the very front of the boiler, you'll see it's got a plate on it going around below the chimney, a semicircular plate on top of the boiler with holes drilled through it. Well, that shows that was actually a convertible engine. It could have a yoke fitted on the front and a roller fitted, beneath that yoke, which meant that that engine was ideal for estate purposes. It could drive a sawmill, it could haul stuff around on the estate, and it could roll the estate roads as well. A lot of these, well, you can see from here, it's still over there, it's a portable engine, but it's not a drivable engine. It won't go anywhere under its own steam. And Thomas Aidling used to have engines like that delivered to his farm to power the farm machinery and the machinery that contractors were using on his farm. You couldn't see why the engine couldn't drive itself. As it was, those portable engines were delivered by a horse in a pair of shafts in front of the engine. Well, he went away and started building and designing self-propelled steam engines. Not much of a job because steering was a problem. And the first Aidling drivable engine, yes, it could drive itself along, but it couldn't turn corners. And so it still needed a horse in front of it, under the front yoke, to be able to actually go round the corners. But Aidling's got over that one, as indeed did other manufacturers. And you can see now, as the large green engine which is coming past me now, see the nameplate on the side, the gaffer? Well, look underneath the nameplate, and there's a set of chains underneath. Those chains go back. See, there's a cogwheel where the chains go back to, and there's a worm screw that engages with the cogwheel. That worm screw is being turned by the steers person, and the steers person you can see on this engine, with that wheel round, you'll see that worm turn on the end, the worm screw, which turns the cogwheel, which tightens or slackens the chain from one side to the other. And that is the steering mechanism for the engine. And that is the same mechanism as you will see employed on the barrel into head far enough to be seeing what's going on. If a steam driver didn't think ahead, he'd be in trouble very quickly. Another example here from the Adrian design, the green roller in front of us. Thomas Adrian sent his steamrollers all over the world. Engines that built New York's road system. And Thomas Adrian technology went all over the world because he worked with a couple of Americans. He actually sent people out there to help American Asian builders with their technology. You can very clearly see there the driver's knocking that lever, which is controlling his gearbox, which is controlling his engine speed. So how does it all fit together? Well, we're still looking at the green one. In front of the flywheel, you'll see there's a brass star on the side. Well, that's on the side of what actual fact is the gearbox selector working, because above that star you'll see rods going forward. Well, the driver's controlling those rods, and that's controlling what's going on with the steam engine, because the engine is just that little green lump in front of the star, the little green barrel-shaped lump in front. That's what the engine is. The long green piece underneath, the cigar-shaped piece, that's the kettle. It's just a kettle that boils water that makes the steam. It's that easy. It's so fantastic because there is no power limit on steam. You can make steam as powerful as you like, simply by enclosing it in a stronger vessel where you can boiling the water. There are limits as to how strongly you can build a moving machine like these. Most of these machines are running somewhere, as they go past you, they'll be running somewhere at 125 pounds per square inch. Now if you just consider that, if you hold your arm out, just look at your hand and your arm. All of us are subjected to atmospheric pressure. It's all around us. It's what keeps us in one piece. It's what goes wrong if you're deep sea diving and you come up too quickly. It results in fatal injury. We're on somewhere between 16 to 18 pounds a square inch on our bodies at all times, and we don't notice it. Well, you can forget the 16 to 18 pounds. These engines are running at around 100 to 125 pounds per square inch. and that's all held inside against an external pressure of only 16 to 18 pounds. The construction of the boiler is absolutely essential. I was talking about a one-man engine a little bit earlier, and this actually, the hamster, as you see going past us now, this was built to the original drawing of Wallace and Stevens for the one-man operated engine. And that was built by a local enthusiast here, Mr. Parson, Jim Foreman, to actually build that engine. And that's a beautiful reproduction, and it's a large steam engine. Good morning. And now our miniature parade is joining us. And as I said earlier, these are not models, never call them a model. Models are something you'll find on page 3 of the Sun. Well, they don't print it anymore, do they? Now this is, these are real working steamers. And they too are working at high pressure. And as the high pressure in these steam engines, it is actually tested regularly. Without that boiler certificate, the all-important steam test, none of these engines will be anywhere near the public. Mind you, every now and again, they do tend to break down, and then you have to call in the recovery. That's it. You can't get the staff in those, can you? And there, almost on the back end of the road train, you see that little cylindrical carrier. That's what's known as a water dandy. It's the most important part of the whole road train there. The steam engine is all in two beautifully constructed steam wagons. And they're traction wagons. They're not steam wagons, they're traction wagons. And they were designed for haulage by traction engines. And you can haul quite a number of those. But you did need a water boiler with you, a water tender with you. So that little cylinder on the back, the water dandy, is absolutely all important. Miniature auction. Now, auctions actually had a set of diagrams to build one of their engines. And that was the only engine that the diagram survived from the auction work. I recognise that phrase normally. A salute for Well, you're all satisfied now, are you?